Hi guys, it's Stock Curry, and I know a lot of you guys got burned today in the stock market. Look, I've got my red shirt on. We're all in this together, okay? My portfolio was down too. I don't know, it was a lot. It was like 7% in some of those. It was crazy. Almost every single stock I had was down today. I did have one or two, maybe three that were up, but for the most part, almost everything I had was down, and some of the stocks were down a lot. Now, I know that can cause a lot of you guys to panic, especially if you're a new trader. You see your stock down 5-6%, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But I gotta tell you, I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. We are in a high volatility time in this market. Now, some of you guys are a little bit confused because you are pointing out in the comments about the VIX and saying, well, the VIX says that it's really, really low. It's below 18. How can that be high volatility when the VIX is so low? And especially when it's called the volatility index. Well, I'm going to let you guys know something. The volatility index is not a true measure of volatility, okay? Look at it. You're going to notice something. When the stock market is up, the volatility, or the VIX, that index, is down. And when the stock market starts going down, the VIX goes up. So it's not a true indication of volatility. All the VIX is an indication of if the stock market is going down or up. That's it. It's an inverse of the market. True volatility, if you're really going to look at what volatility is, you look at the markets and their fluctuations from day to day and their fluctuations intraday. A stock mode likes to use the 1% rule, where you look at the stock market, the index, during the day, and if it moved more than 1% high to low, it's a volatile day. If it moved less than 1% high to low, it's a low volatility day. So that's what we're seeing on our stocks. Yeah, some of our stocks are down 5%, but guess what? Tomorrow they could be up 5%. That's volatility. It's a high volatility time in the market right now. We have stocks that could go down 20% one week and up 30% the next. So it's just what we're in right now. It's just the times that we're in. Don't panic if your stock is down 5, 6, 7. Don't even panic if it's down 10%. When you buy that stock, before you buy that stock, you should know what price you're buying in at. You should know what price you're selling at. 2 price points you should have on every sale. One is your stop loss. That's when the stock drops too far and you sell to get out so that you don't lose any more. 2 is your profit target, and that is where you have a price. Once the stock runs up a certain amount, you're going to sell and take profits. If you don't have both of those price points before you buy the stock, then just stop and don't buy the stock. Now, the one exception is if you're day trading and you're only looking at the technicals, then you're just looking for certain chart patterns. You're going to sell on a chart pattern. You're not basing it upon a price pattern. But even when day trading, you should know when you're going to get out before you buy the stock. You should know what chart pattern or what indicator you're looking at that you're going to get out on before you buy. The only exception where you might not set a stop loss or a price target is on long-term holds. Those could be both dividend stocks as well as high growth stocks. So if you have a long-term growth stock and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to hold through all the fluctuations. I don't care if it's down 20% or up 30%, I'm just holding. Those are the kind of plays where you wouldn't necessarily set a stop loss or a price target. Same thing with a dividend stock. A dividend stock, you might just buy and you're just going to hold it forever, and you're just going to take the dividends. You don't really care what the price of the stock is. So those are the only 2 exceptions, are your long-term holds. But for any swing trading you're doing, for any short-term, for any day trading you're doing, you should always know when you're going to get out before you buy. The only time you don't know when you get out before you buy is if you literally don't plan to get out. You're just going to hold it long-term. Now, I do have some long-term stocks that were down today. I talked about it a couple days ago. GM was like, it's moving 5% day to day. It's just crazy price fluctuations. I bought Morgan Stanley a few weeks ago. It's up 4% now. It's one of the few industries that's really performing well in my portfolio are the banking stocks. So banking stocks might be something you guys want to consider if you're looking for something that's a little more stable, something that will continue to go up. So that's just kind of my market recap, guys. Don't panic. The longer that we have some consolidation, the longer that stocks trade flat or down and they don't just go up to the moon, a lot of people start throwing things in the comments. They start panicking. They start getting afraid. And, you know, I saw a few today. If we get another down day tomorrow, then we're going to have more panic tomorrow. It's the way it is. Everybody has a certain level of threshold that they're able to handle pain with. And once the pain exceeds their threshold, they start panicking. The problem is, it's just market psychology, is we tend to sell when everything's going down and we tend to buy when everything's going up. We literally buy and sell at the exact worst time. I mean, you're probably a new trader and you're probably thinking, man, every single time I buy a stock, it just tanks. And every single time I sell, it immediately turns around and starts going back up. What's going on? Well, you're just a new trader. That's normal. That's exactly how new traders do. They see a stock going down, they panic, they sell, and they literally sell at the bottom and the stock starts going back up because people see the value and like, wow, the stock's really cheap. Let me go buy it. And then the stock starts running up. You see a bunch of green candles day after day after day, and you're like, oh, wow, look at the stock. It's running up, running up. This is a great stock. I'm going to buy it. And it immediately starts tanking because people like me are like, wow, the stock's really oversold. I should probably take profits and sell. And you're literally just buying and selling at the totally wrong time. Right now, with everything down, you should be getting excited. You should be like, wow, look how cheap these stocks are. Let me go buy some more. Now, if you're like me and you're completely out of cash, well, we just hold, right? I'm holding. You should be holding or buying. The one thing you should definitely not do on a down day is sell, unless your stock is hitting a stop loss. But stocks weren't really down that much today, so you shouldn't have gotten stopped out on anything, I don't think. Anyway, if you're still confused about all this and you're like, I hear what you're saying, Scott, but I just can't wrap my head around it. I just can't make the right decisions. I need help. Then I recommend that you go enroll in ZipTrader U. ZipTrader U teaches you how to buy and sell stocks, but more importantly, it teaches you when to buy and sell stocks. And it goes over some of the emotional aspects so that you can get over the FOMO, the fear of missing out, where you buy at the top. You can also get over the fear of panicking as your stock goes down, and you can literally reverse that so that you're buying the dips and selling at the top. It shows you how to read the technicals on the charts so that you know where the bottom is and where the top is and how to wait for confirmation and all of that stuff. So if you're a new trader and you want to know how to trade in the stock market, you want to become profitable and you're tired of selling high and buying, well, no, you'd be doing the opposite. If you're tired of buying high and selling low, then I suggest you go enroll in ZipTrader U. If that's something that interests you, I do have a link in the description below. It's 15% off of ZipTrader U. Just follow the instructions in the description of the video and just click the link and then enter the discount code to get that 15% off. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about today is I really didn't get a lot of chance to look at the markets much today because I spent most of my day removing scammers. I am so fed up with these scammers. They bombarded the channel today. So guys, look at this image. I want you guys to look at this image and know that if it is highlighted, if a comment is highlighted, that's me. That's Stock Curry. If the comment is not highlighted, that's a scammer. Do not contact them. The only reason these scammers continue to post is because some people are contacting them and they are successfully stealing your money. So please, if you see a scammer like this, do not contact them. If it's anything about WhatsApp, my advisor, my trader, my broker, anything like that, it is a scam. And that's not only true for this channel, it's true for any of the stock channels, whether it be Larry Jones, Stockmo, Keenan Grace, any of them. If you see this, it is a scammer. All right, guys, let's get into today's stock picks. Now, for those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Stock Curry. I used to work as an analyst for some large investment banks, and now I analyze stock picks from the top 10 YouTubers. I give you both the cliff notes from the top 10 YouTubers, as well as my analysis on their stock picks. If any of the stocks I talk about today piques your interest, I'm going to tell you who talked about that stock, and I want to recommend that you go watch their videos so that you can get the full details on what they said. Now, all I ask in return for putting all of this together for you is that you hit that like button, subscribe, click the bell icon, and then click all so that you can get notified when I release my next video. In fact, I'll give you 5 seconds to do that right now. Alright, before we get into today's stock picks, I just want to remind everyone that I am not a financial advisor and none of the YouTubers I follow are financial advisors either. Today's video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who are wondering, you are currently looking at the Webull desktop app. Webull is the app that I use for my trading, and it is also the app that I use in all of my videos. Alright, let's get into today's stock picks. First up is AAPL. This is Apple. Stockmo likes AAPL as a stable value stock. He purchased AAPL on Monday for his YouTuber picks portfolio. He also bought a June 2023 $130 call for his personal portfolio. Stockmo thinks people are going to spend their stimulus checks on Apple products. He also thinks their new EV could add hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue. He also said that if AAPL were to enter the crypto space, they could dominate that space, especially if a crypto trading app came pre-installed on their phones. AAPL has an average analyst price target of $157.75, which represents a 20% upside from Monday's closing price. Stockmo said that AAPL is a still at current prices. Personally, I think we'll see AAPL get back down towards the 100-day EMA at some point, but it may rise to $137.50 before dropping. The 100-day EMA closed Monday at $124.30. Next up is AMZN. This is Amazon, and Keen and Grace let us know that AMZN is up right now because their workers voted against forming a union. And there's still plenty of upside with AMZN with an average analyst price target of $4,100. Looking at the RSI, the stock is overbought right now, so I would wait for a pullback before buying in. Next up is BABA. This is Alibaba, and they are the Chinese version of Amazon. Keen and Grace let us know that BABA was up over 9% today on news that China's monopoly inquiry was completed and resulted in a $2.8 billion fine. Alibaba's CEO said the fine will not impact the company's operations. $2.8 billion is only 5% of the $47 billion of cash that they have on hand. The average analyst price target is $319, which represents a 30% upside from Monday's closing price. Now, I'm not going to give you price points because this stock works best as a long-term hold. So if you're interested in BABA, I would just dollar cost average in over the next few weeks. I will give you a $210 stop loss price. Next up is COIN. This is Coinbase, and this is a platform that is used to trade cryptocurrencies. ZipTrader gave his thoughts on the Coinbase direct listing that is coming up on Wednesday. ZipTrader warned that the first few days or weeks of trading would be very volatile, but he does think that COIN would be a good long-term play. He recommends sitting out during the first few days or weeks and waiting for COIN's price to drop before buying in. COIN will most likely run up massively in the first few days, and you don't want to overpay for this stock. That said, ZipTrader did say that the massive volatility we're expecting to see in the first few days of trading will make for some good day trading opportunities. Next up is DKNG. This is DraftKings, and they're an online sports betting company. Stockmo showed us how DKNG got hammered today. However, it is now back to the 100-day EMA, which has historically been a strong level of support for DKNG. If it breaks below the 100-day EMA, then we can expect DKNG to drop down to a little above the 200-day EMA, which closed Monday at $49.50. Earnings are coming up on May 7th, though, so that could be an upward catalyst for this stock. We won't really know how to play this until we see what happens Tuesday. I am going to update my price points for you. I'm going to give you a new buy-in price of $62, an ideal buy-in price of $58, and a stop-loss price of $49. And as we can see on tip ranks, the average analyst price target is $73, which represents a 26% upside from Monday's closing price. By the way, if you want access to tip ranks, you can click my link in the description of this video. You can sign up. It is free to sign up and create an account. All of the consolidated information, such as this stuff up here, is free. If you want access to this information, you just have to pay a little bit of money. Next up is FBIO. This is Fortress Biotech, and Keen and Grace let us know that FBIO dropped over 6% after hours after announcing a share offering. We still don't have word on whether or not they got FDA clearance. Keen and Grace said that Tuesday's dip would be a buying opportunity. Next up is IDEX. This is Ideanomics. They make a wireless charging station for EVs, similar to how your phone charges on a wireless charging pad, and they are also involved in many other EV products and businesses as well. Chris Sain said today's drop is a buying opportunity. Technically, this stock has lost all support and is crashing. Slightly above the 200-day EMA is a strong level of support. So I think if you're going to be patient, you'll be able to buy IDEX for around $2.50. Next up is IZEA. This is an influencer search platform. They're used to help brands find influencers to work with. Dead Inside let us know that they announced that they have some very exciting news to share at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. Stocks will often run up leading up to an important news announcement. IZEA was on Dead Inside's watch list because last week they reported a 130% year-over-year growth in managed services bookings, which was a new record for the company. Now, what the company's stock price does on Tuesday will be anybody's guess. This could be a buy the hype, sell the news event where the stock drops on Tuesday, or it could be really big news that causes IZEA to jump 50%. The best time to buy the stock was probably on Monday. If you decide to play it on Tuesday, this would work best as a day trade. I would wait until after the news is announced and then play either the run-up or sell-off depending upon which way the stock moves. If you already bought IZEA on Monday, then you'll probably want to sell Tuesday before the news is announced and take profits, in case the stock drops after the news is announced. Next up is NIO. This is NIO and they're a Chinese EV manufacturer. Stockmo said NIO is opening a showroom in Norway. NIO is already in Europe. They are now opening showrooms in Europe, and we already know that they are hiring in the United States. With NIO expanding throughout the United States, Europe, and Asia, this is going to be a huge company. Stockmo continues to add on to his NIO holdings. Now, regarding how low NIO will drop, it looks like NIO is approaching the 200-day EMA again, which it bounced off of twice already. The 200-day EMA closed Monday at $35.97. We might see NIO drop a little bit below that for a few days, but not much. NIO is very cheap right now, but we'll have to pay attention to NIO over the next few days to see if it drops too far below the 200-day EMA. Personally, I continue to hold NIO and I have no plans to sell at this time. Next up is NPPTF. This is Neptune Digital Assets. They are developing a solar, wind, and natural gas-powered Bitcoin mining facility. Larry Jones sold half of his NPPTF today after it ran up over 50% in one day. He sold for a more than 100% profit, so he is now playing with house money. Next up is NVDA. This is NVDA. Keen and Grace let us know that NVDA announced two good news items on Monday. First, they released a new line of data center processors, and second, they expect to exceed their revenue forecast for this quarter. The CFO said that NVDA's cryptocurrency mining chip sales were expected to be $150 million versus prior guidance of only $50 million. The stock was up over 5% today on that news. Now technically, NVDA is approaching overbought. Keen and Grace gave a buy-in price of $575 and an ideal buy-in price of $550. I agree with both of those buy-in prices. Next up is PLTR. This is Palantir. They're a data analytics company. Keen and Grace recommends buying PLTR at current prices. He thinks PLTR will double in the short term. Now technically, I can see how PLTR held support and closed above the 10-day EMA. That is bullish. The MACD and RSI also continue to rise, which is bullish. The bullishness is weak, but it is there. I agree with Chris saying PLTR remains a buy at current prices. Next up is SOL. This is Rena Solar Power. They're a solar company. Keen and Grace reminded us that SOL was profitable pre-pandemic. The stock was above $35 back in January, and now SOL is back to its 200-day EMA. On April 8th, they closed another sale of a solar farm they built in Utah. That's how SOL makes its money, by the way. They build solar farms, and then they sell them to the highest bidder. Now, the average analyst price target is $14.75, which represents a 46% upside from Monday's closing price. The chart is looking very bearish right now, though. If I take away these EMA lines, you can see this better. It has formed a descending triangle, which is bearish. SOL is right at the tip of the triangle, so I do expect SOL to drop down and keep going lower. Keen and Grace gave a buy-in price of $10 and an ideal buy-in price of $8.60. Personally, I see a second level of support at $8.30 and a lower level of support at $5.80. It's too hard to tell how far SOL will drop, so I would just recommend waiting for a clear bottom before buying in. Next up is SQ Square. Stockmo said he might buy SQ this week. Now I do see that on the technicals it is approaching overbought. We may run up a little bit more since it typically doesn't come back down until it gets above 70 on the RSI. However, it will come back down, so I would wait for a dip on SQ before buying in. Next up is TSLA. This is Tesla. They're an American EV manufacturer. Stockmo said he likes TSLA better than NIO right now because the chart is trending up rather than continuing to drop like NIO is. And last we have TTCF. This is Tattooed Chef. They are a plant-based foods company and a competitor to Beyond Meat. Chris Sane recommends buying TTCF in the 18s. I think that's fine, but I also think that if you're patient, you can buy this even lower. The technicals are all bearish right now, and the next support level is the trend line that closed today at $17.28. I think if you're patient, you can buy TTCF under $18. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and got a lot out of it. Comment down below what your favorite stock pick is. And if you want to get some free stocks, sign up for Webull using my link in the description below. When you sign up, Webull's going to give you 2 free stocks worth up to $1,850 when you just deposit $100. That's it. It's an incredible deal, an incredible promotion. So make sure you sign up for Webull using my link in the description below. Finally, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon if you haven't already. I hope you have a lot of success trading, and I will see you tomorrow.